It's time for peak. Oh yes. Hey everybody, Kickassreaction here, and today we are officially catching up to Madoka Magica as we are beginning and concluding the Madoka Magica Movie 3 titled Rebellion. So there's two other movies in this series that are just recap movies for the series. I watched the series, so I didn't need to do anything in the recap films. And to my knowledge, there is no, exclusive scenes from there to give any kind of context for this movie. So, we're just here for the film, which is going to be absolutely, I would say incredible, but more intriguing right now. Because, the fact that Madoka Magica is continuing at all is an insane concept to me, genuinely. Not even the fact that it's continuing, the fact that this isn't the end of it either. There is another movie coming out at some point down the road that is a continuation of this, and at the end of the series, we rewrote the entire fucking universe. We rewrote the concept of the universal energy crisis and, did everything differently. So I don't know what's going to happen here, right? To fairness, we gained some characters back. Going into this, we now know that Kyoko and Mami are still around and Homura is here. So they are kind of like a squad in their own right, which is interesting. But Madoka, i.e. the title character in the franchise, is gone. Madoka is still just a concept. She is basically God. She is the concept that keeps witches completely from ever being born and just, makes that a thing. So, what's going to happen here, right? Because, I can't imagine we don't go into Madoka in this movie. The movie is titled Rebellion, so maybe somehow we're rewriting things to where she can be conceived by everyone because, Homura, because of Homura's, time shenanigans and whatnot, she is, the last remnant of the old world physically. She is the last remnant of the universe before the wish that rewrote it all. She remembers Madoka, she remembers the witches, something that even the incubators don't know. That, she is most likely the key to doing this, but I don't even know what it means. Rebellion, what are we rebelling against? The new world order, the new universal order that Madoka made? Does a new magical witch somehow, magical girl, make a wish that fundamentally affects Madoka's wish without even knowing it, and so it starts throwing things awry? What is going on here? I genuinely don't know, but we're going into this with a new perspective, obviously. Magical girls in general are no longer at the threat of being turned into, witches and evil. I believe the new system is just, if you don't refill your gem enough, it just disappears. Whether that means that you, considering they still represent the soul, I believe, even means that you disappear in general, meaning your soul is just gone and you no longer exist. So you can't enter any kind of afterlife or anything. Or if it just means, your time's done, you did technically die, so you go to heaven, or something. The physical gem is the container of the soul, and when it's broken or whatever, your soul just passes on naturally, not necessarily explained at the end of the series itself, but that concept is still there, meaning there is no, side effect of becoming a magical girl. Even the incubators, admit that, the witch story was intriguing, and maybe that would have been a better decision, but obviously, that's not how it is anymore, which is interesting. So that's going on, and, while Madoka's wish was meant to save the magical girls, it didn't necessarily solve the issue of the, the power crisis in general that the universe has that the incubators seek out to fix. So, as a compromise, the witches are gone, but given that, disharmony, negativity, despair still exists in the universe given free will, the universe kind of compromised by creating these wraiths, which, from what we can see in episode 12, are no actual threat to humanity. Not in the sense that people become them. They are just, I guess, just pre-born aspects that the universe creates in order to convert into energy by the incubators, so there is no threat there. Which is interesting. I hope we do delve into what these wraiths are in more detail in this universe. What exactly, the catalyst is for creating them, since it seems to be random based off of QB's words, that they just kind of pop up every now and then. Enough to refill our energy crisis, and yeah, just stuff like that. I'm really curious if the after credit scene means anything, because it seemed like that was somehow a big time jump in the future, to where, you know, you just had Homura stand on her own in just like a desolate world where the wraiths still exist, and Madoka's like whispers still reach her to where she can slightly hear her telling her to, you know, keep up the good work, keep up the, you know, keep up what you're doing, because you're letting, you know, Earth might be gone, but you're letting, you know, life live in the universe in general. Like, is that what that was alluding to there? That that was the end of mankind, but Homura is still destined to traverse the sands for eternity? I don't know. What I found really interesting, that I don't even remember if I spoke about, was the wings, and how the wings, they seem to signify the labyrinth energy, which means that somehow, in some way, Homura still has the power of a witch without actually having become a witch, right? Because her wings specified a labyrinth in its, you know, in its art style, which would mean that she somehow does have the same energy that make witches witches. So, is that a catalyst to, you know, her, is that a catalyst to her still remembering the old world, of still being a part of the old world? That, like, there are still remnants of that potential to become a witch within her, somehow? Like, can she just does she have inherently, can she now control, I guess, the, like, the grief seed energy that she has within her, and harness it to her own will? Is that what we're going with in that case? I don't know. And again, I don't know if that was necessarily, if that's necessarily canon or not, because I don't know if this movie, or the idea of continuing Madoka at all, was even planned after the series ended. Because Madoka Magica is it's an original anime. I think it is original. It had no source material from it. So everything in it was just, you know, as is. There was nothing past that. So I'm not entirely sure if that is a canon thing or not yet. Or if somehow in this movie, like, Homura time jumps somehow and gets Madoka back. I have no idea how that happens. But, you know, I can't imagine we don't have Madoka in this movie, right? She's the title character. She is, like, the central core aspect of Homura's entire narrative. Like, I don't know. I really don't. But I'm excited. I'm really excited to get into this movie. Obviously, this is an almost 2-hour movie, which is insane. You know, anime movies typically reach this level or beyond it anyway, so I'm not too surprised about that. But, you know, I'm so intrigued about this because, again, not only is this continuing a series that did not need to continue in, I know it's really good. Like, everyone I've asked about really enjoy it, but I go into this knowing it's also not the end. It's not a one and done deal. There's more after this, so are we ending on a cliffhanger? I'm just blown away that we even have enough, like, to go on with, so I don't know. But I don't think I've been as intrigued by a series continuing as I have with Madoka before, because I don't know how it works. I don't know how it happens, and I know that they apparently didn't blunder it, so we'll see. So, guys, that's enough pre-ramble. Oh, obviously, Homura is now going to take the full focus, I assume, of the MC role. Unfortunately, you know, Madoka's wish did also, it kept a line with Sayaka's wish as well, so Sayaka is not in this movie either. She died and kind of just passed on with Madoka at the end of episode 12 as well. I guess it's a way to pay respect to her own wish, despite how silly it was. But yeah, Sayaka's not here either, just 3 girls. Very straight, like, the girls that never got along with each other, which is just incredible. And I'm so curious to see what actually happens here, how Homura moves on without Madoka at this point, you know, how Mami and Homura interact, if Kyoko can stand them, like, is Hitami a thing? Oh, absolutely insane. But guys, without further ado, Madoka Magica, Rebellion. This is hype. This is fucking hype. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1, and play. Oh man. Oh man, Warner Bros had stuff to do with us, huh? Interesting. Yep. And Madoka Magica is like the concept of hope. Salvation of Oblivion. Oh man. And that poor soul gem for the one who gave it all up to make a world without suffering. Yep. Animation is beautiful, by the way. Just the effects of this soul gem alone are insane. Damn. So let's see this. How is the New Order doing? Are these wraiths? No? No. Or maybe these are wraiths? Welcome to cinema. Yeah, very cool. Obviously not gonna let this insane combination of art styles just leave us, even with Witches gone. What the hell am I looking at? And we actually see her! I didn't really see her so soon. Wow. The two dead ones. Oh no, Kyoko too! Is this an alternate universe? Because like I said, Kyoko's one of our live characters, which is crazy. Unless we are somehow, in some way, universe jumping. Which would be insane. Sweeties. Okay. Nice. Apples, of course. And Mami. Everyone literally but Homura. Nightmare. God. Still beautiful animation, but that wasn't even a question, really. This has to be another universe, then. Though ironically, Madoka's wish was to kill witches in every universe. Don't tell me it's just a cat in this world. No incubator at all. Wow. Some things never change, do they? Okay. We're going into very familiar territory right now.
最近どんなよ。
ひとみちゃんがちょっと大変。なかなか上条くんと予定が合わないんだって。
So they're a thing.
本当に難儀なの。
I genuinely didn't think we'd see Madoka for a majority of the film.
先生はちょっともう急に世界の終わりがどうとか言い出すし、やっぱり相当落ち込んじゃってるのかも。
Wow.
あっちゃ、そろそろこっちで何かセッティングしてやるかな。
和子先生どうしてモテないのかな。結構可愛いとこあるのに。
あいつは昔から高望みが過ぎるんだよ。まあ良くも悪くも妥協しねってのがな。よし。
Good stuff.
あ、それからね、今日から転校生が来るんだって。
Alright, so this is where we should be seeing some divergences. Also, Madoka's hair down. That looks great.
友達になれるといいな。
Oh my god.
セーフ。はい、残さないで食べてね。
コーヒーおかわりは？
いや。
Nice.
よし。じゃあ行ってくる。
いってらっしゃい。さあ、まどかも急がないと。
I'm really not too sure what to say right now because they're doing the thing. They're baiting us, and QB hasn't said anything. So we're really in another world where, like, QB's literally just a cat? Or at least this universe's version of a cat. Okay, we got the magical girl outfit. Oh my god, yes, they're friends! Very sweet. Oh my god, even Mummy. The bestest of friends. Oh my god, Homer in white. Okay. What the fuck? Basically, get like the old Homura back with a little more confidence. Those many, many years you spent in isolation are gone. And this is more like what we were expecting. That's the world they showed at the end. Madoka Rebellion. Oh my god! Even Kyoko goes to this school now. She was an outsider, wasn't she? They've all got these rings. What are they? Rings of friendship? Nice. That's so Kyoko. Nice. Rip to Hitami because she is just not part of the group anymore. Had to replace her with Kyoko. That girl served no purpose. Wait, go back. So they are still a thing in this world. What is this world? What is going on? So there are magical girls, but again, QB hasn't spoken at all yet.
マヤ歴で予言された世界の終わりをやり過ごしたからっていい気になってませんか？いやいや、まだまだこれからですよ。とある宗教の祭礼の日に合わせて日食と月食が6回起こっちゃうという話です。怖いですね。
Nice.
いいですね。それに2050年までに何が起こるかといえば、はい、中澤くん。
いや、ちょっと何の
She's a little too hyped for the end of the world, to be honest, when you think about it.
では 41% の人々があと40年もしないで神の子が再臨すると信じているそうです。黙示録のラッパが鳴っちゃうかもなんです。
And you'll still not have a man by then.
まあでもね、先生、世界が滅んじゃうのもいいかなって思うんです。男女関係とか恋愛とかもうたくさんですし、このまま死者誤入して40歳とか言われる。
Honestly, this girl should have been a witch in the well, not even a witch. She should have been possessed by a witch in the main show. But this girl is filled with such depression, it's insane. Okay, now we're showing some powers. The old hairstyle. The braids. She's smiling with the glasses. Oh my god.
明美さんは心臓の病気でずっと入院していたの。久しぶりの学校だからいろいろと戸惑うことも多いでしょ。みんな助けてあげてね。
She has the ring too.
それじゃな。じゃああの子も。
These are soul gems.
中澤くんの隣がいて。
Okay, these are now the soul gems rings. That's good. So they can never be taken away.
でもついついみんなをびっくりさせてみたくなっちゃって、本当は夕べのうちにご挨拶しなきゃいけなかったのに。あ、もしかして夕べのナイトメア退治、私たちが追い詰めた先で待
So they're referred to as nightmares.
神だけじゃなくて。ええ、明美さんにも手伝ってもらったの。すごいのよ、彼女の魔法。コンビネーションで攻撃力を何倍にも圧縮できるんだから。
Very nice.
私にできるのはサポートだけで、攻撃そのものはからきしですけど。へえ、でも頼もしいじゃん。ここんとこナイトメアも大物ばっかり出てきて手こずらされてたし。まあ実力
That's the thing, they're not even called wraiths right now, so this has to just be alternate universe stuff.
改めて明美ホムラです。
But again, I don't, like, what are we... What's the purpose of this? What are we doing? Are we just presenting, like, a perfect reality where none of the bad shit happened in Madoka?
一緒に頑張ろうね。
So perfect even witches don't need to exist? Or this is just an example of Madoka's wish, how it affected other realities. Because we saw R1. But this is very different.
綺麗だね。え。ホムラちゃんが転校してきてもう1ヶ月か。
Damn, you made it through the month!
一緒にいるみたいな気もするし、あっという間だったような気もするし。今夜はナイトメアも出ないまま、みんな幸せに眠れるといいな。なんだか不思議。
Again, it's weird because, like, QB is specifically not
ホムラちゃん
speaking,
とゆっくりお話がしたいなってずっと思って
even
た
acting like a cat.
変だよね。なんでもないことなのに。また明日になれば学校で会えるんだから。そうね。でも私も一緒。こうしてまどかと過ごせる時間をずっと待ってた気がする。
Huh. Like, there's remnants of the old stuff here. But, like, what is going on? Oh my god, the Forgotten Girl. Rip into me, the girl served, like, no purpose at all. I guess if you want, you could make her the villain of the movie. That'd be pretty based.
こんな夜遅くにごめんなさい。今週の日曜日って何か予定はありますかしら。
ごめんね。その日もレッスンに使わなきゃならないんだ。 次の発表会までもう間がないからね。
あ、そうでしたか。
いつもタイミングが合わなくてごめんね。
そんなこと
Never ever,
な
huh?
さずに、私頑張っている上条くんのことが
That's a big rip.
大好きですから。
うん、じゃあまた明日学校で。
はい、おやすみなさいませ。
Also, talk about a luxury bed. Like, wow.
そうですわ。いつも頑張ってる上条くんはとっても素敵で凛々しくて、私大好きです。けれど、たまには私のために頑張ってくださってもいいのではなくて、
Nice. Oh, wow.
もう日曜なんていりませんわ。発表会もなくなってしまえばいいのですわ。
What the hell? And this is our instance of a nightmare. What the hell? Oh, wow. Okay.
ベベ、そのヘアピンをちょうだい。
So this is Mummy, but like... What the fuck is this thing? What? I'm so confused. Oh, that's sick. That is based. I didn't think we saw that power in the show. That was about as lewd as we're gonna get in Madoka, though.
なあ、あれって静木ひとみのナイトメアなのか？
Yep.
ひとみも大変だよね。あんな無神経なやつを彼氏にしたりするからさ。うわ、あんたが言うと重みが違うわ。まあ何？人生
So like dream catchers in this world, then I guess. I'm really like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to say. This world is just so different. Especially this Homura. And, bro. Even though, like, he seems normal, like, QB's still tagging along. Oh. So, the rings are the soul gems. Then what are these? Just like morphers? Like Power Ranger style? Or can the soul gems become rings now as well? For like more convenience, I guess. That's pretty sick though. That's pretty sick. Ultimate level transformation sequence. Oh my god, yes, you know Kyoko's got the sickest one. Really rocking transformation. What the hell? Okay. Okay. Yes. Nice. This is just so weird, man. They're definitely flaunting that, you know, that movie budget, honestly. That movie budget cash right now. To go all out. Because the animation on Madoka is amazing, but they're doing everything they can to surpass it in this film. And succeeding. They are succeeding at that too. Oh my god, even a magical high school level transformation for Homura. Not the Homer I'm used to, but not necessarily a bad thing either. And of course, the main one, the Madoka Magica transformation. Let's see it, Madoka. Very nice. I wonder what this Madoka's wish was. Actually, Holy Quintet, that's great! Actually, I wonder what Homura's wish was in this world then, if none of Madoka stuff happened. God, they are such a squad now, and it's so cool! They are just so unified, it's great! Like, even Sayaka doesn't even care that Hitomi's with our guy. Hell yeah. Such a cheat code, time magic. Oh my god, they're even combining powers. Let's go! Wow. Okay, let's go, Sayaka! Oh my god. Even in a battle, she can't help herself. What the hell? What are you doing? Casting judgment upon this thing? That is so cruel. Oh my god. Using the fucking witch design thing that killed Mummy and having her pet the thing, what the hell? Baby. I don't even know what to say about this. This is so... This is just... What? What am I... What? Okay. That almost felt like genuine, like, fucking kid level stuff. The way they beat it. And of course, it all comes back to a violin. What an interesting way of beating nightmares, though, like using a previous witch as a way to do it. The fucking one that took Mummy, of all things. This is good. This is perfect. But that's the problem. It's too perfect. It's too joyful for Madoka Magica. And you know, such joy and hope will not continue if this series is to continue at all. So what's gonna break this, like, ideal perfect world, I wonder? It takes that long to kill one of these things? So yeah, Miss Baby is like one of the next incubators, I guess.
今日だってちょっとヒヤッとさせられたわ。そういうお説教はごめんだね。
Well, it's just like a familiar.
まあケーキと紅茶があったら別だけど。おいこら京子、いいこと言ってんじゃないわよ。
Never not thinking with her stomach.
みんなうちに寄っていく？はーい。
Life is perfect. Saving people, being friends, you know? It's just ideal, you know? The perfect world Homura always wanted. So what's gonna fuck it up? What's gonna do it? I know it's coming, man. We can't be schoolgirls by daylight and fighting evil by moonlight. What else have we got?
あと新しく封を切ったエキセアもあるけど。酸っぱいのは嫌だな私。
Nice.
京子の味覚はお子ちゃまだな。なんだとこら。
It's called a sweet tooth, okay? There's nothing wrong with it.
はいはい。ベベにもご褒美がいるものね。
These two.
ホムラちゃんどうかしたの？なんでもないの。私たちの戦いってこれでよかったんだっけ？
Interesting. I wonder if she's somehow like under a Wraith's influence. Like somehow this is what Wraiths do to people, and she's currently under a spell by them, and that's what's doing this, because she's starting to allude to the idea of knowing about the series stuff. And as we already know, she does know about the series stuff. And this isn't even a nightmare, this is like the most perfect dream ever. So I even just did that thing right there where like the faces that aren't relevant to your life aren't important, so they're just blurred out. And again, like, QB just ain't talking. There's now this Bebe thing. Like, is this the nightmare that's holding Homura hostage or something? Or the Wraith or whatever this, like, whatever's going on. It's almost like giving it a feeling of it's just fake. Ooh, that sounds lovely. Alright, let's do something. Let's figure this out. Oh. Well, for a second we had new people there, new characters. Let's be like, nice.
さくらさん、最近何かがおかしいって思いませんか？はあ？何かって何が？それはなんとなく。でも何もかも。何言ってんのさ、あんた。で、話って何さ？さくらさん、最近。
I just went back because for a second I thought she said Sayaka. So seeing Kyoko confused me.
それはなんとなく。でも何もかも。何言ってんのさ、あんた。大丈夫？誰よりも先にまずさくらさんに相談したのは、だってあなたが一番変っていうか。
Damn.
私の中にあるあなたの印象とあまりに食い違ってるんですよ。
You're actually nice, sociable, cooperative. That's like not you at all.
さくらさん、今はどこにお住まいですか？さやかんちに居候してんだよ。そのくらい知ってんだろ？いつから三滝原中学に？あんたより先に転入してきたのさ。それっていつ？去年の。
It's not making sense.
いつだったっけな。でもなんでそんなことを気にしてるんだ？三滝原に来る前はどこに？隣の風見野だよ。あっちの町が平和になったからいろいろ難儀してるっていうマミの縄張りを手伝ってんじゃねえか。最近風見野市に戻ったことはありますか？ねえよ、別段用事もないしね。
And is all this normal? Is this how the order should be in the world, you know?
さくらさん、今から私と一緒に風見野市に行ってみませんか？はあ？何しに？ただ行ってみるだけでいいんです。そこがもし本当にあなたの知っている通りの町だったら謝ります。その時は何もかも私の勘違いです。なんかわけわかんねえんだけどさ、私をからかってるって様子でもねえよな。あんたマジなんだな。
Yes. Holy crap, one go.
地元で私が通ってたうまいラーメン屋があるんだ。
Of course.
そこで晩飯を
You're still hungry.
わかりました。
That's one detail you could never get wrong about Kyoko. The food aspect. The girl with the ultimate metabolism. Things aren't adding up, are they?
この次の停留所から風見野市だよ。
次は三滝原3丁目、安心と信頼の東雲スライン。
違う、ここ左に曲がるはずなのに。
Yep. I love how this is representing just how different things are now. That things are going awry.
N 乗るバスを間違えた。そんなはずないよ。確かに風見の駅行きに乗っただろ。次のバスで引き返しましょう。 今度こそ間違えないように。
Yeah. Look at this road, man!
これで
It's a crime against humanity. That's not right either, is it? No matter what, you can't get there.
ちょっと待て、おいこら。
こんなのってありか。今度は歩いて確かめてみましょう。途中で通り過ぎた三叉路を左、それで風見野に着くはずでしたね。ああ。
But you're in a perpetual loop. You can't change anything. And that is why this world just doesn't make sense. I.e., we are trapped in some kind of space anomaly.
なあ、あの三叉路までこんなに距離あったっけ？いいえ、もうとっくについてなきゃおかしいです。嘘だろ。あなたも私もあんな大きな三叉路を気づかずに素通りするほどバカじゃないはずですよね。こいつは幻覚か何かか。私たちを三滝原の外に出さないための。そんな生優しいものじゃないかもしれない。もしかしたらこの三滝原には外なんてないのかも。
Yep.
おい、さくらさん、このことみんなにはしばらく秘密にしておいて。私だけでまだちょっと調べたいことがあるの。バカ。
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's kind of freaky to think about that. You're literally forbade from leaving anything.
安全だと思う。むしろ下手に動けば動くほど追い詰められていく。これはそういう類の罠でしょうね。
Yep.
心当たりあるのか。
I wonder if they can't leave the city because this is based on Homura's memories and she's never been to Kyoko City before. So although she can somehow remember it, Homura, this whole world is tied to Homura's memory.
私たちを騙していたやつは今日までそれ以上何の手出しもしてこなかったんだもの。おとなしく騙されている限り危険はないはずよ。
But what's trapping them here?
分かったよ。
So I don't get.
私の記憶、確かに色々と食い違ってるのかもしれない。さくらさん。
Oh no.
妙なんだよ。こんな強気な明美ホムラは初めて見るはずなのに。
Oh no, yep.
全然意外って気がしねえ。むしろしっくりくるぐらいだ。
And now you've lost Kyoko.
覚えているのは私だけなの。
Yep. So what does this mean? What is this act of rebellion? Like, who's doing this? QB?
そう。
Don't see why.
この手口を知っている。閉ざされた幻の空間、獲物を誘い込んで惑わすための出口のない迷路。
And now we get a much more familiar design.
間違いない。ここは
And this one is preferable, to be
魔女
fair.
の結界だ。
How? How are you in a witch's labyrinth? Like, what? Who? How? How are there witches? Is this your... you kind of have witch power, I guess. Is it you?
魔女。
Who else could it be?
絶望をまき散らす最悪の使い。
そして絶望に沈んだ魔法少女たちが最後になり果てる。
It's all coming back.
かつて私は幾度となく同じ時間を繰り返し、その残酷な運命に抗おうと戦った。
And that cycle was broken thanks to Madoka.
そして最後は一人の少女の犠牲によって希望と絶望をめぐる残酷な連鎖は断ち切られ、世界は新しい断りへと導かれたはず。
But something is trying to break that. A stray witch somehow.
私たちは忘れている。いや、忘れさせられていたのだ。誰かが私たちの記憶を欺き陥れようとしている。この偽りの三滝原の町で。
Wow.
もうベベったらあんまりお行儀が悪いとチーズになっちゃうわよ。
I mean, it's gotta be Bebe, right? What else could it be? What else is so animated?
本当に仲いいですよね、マミさんとベベ。そういえば初めてマミさんと会った時もベベと一緒でしたよね。
ええ、ベベは昔からの友達だもの。出会ったのはもうずいぶん前。かなめさんやミキさんよりも付き合いは長いのよ。どうしてベベがともえさんのところに来たか覚えてますか？
Oh dear, that's a bad question. But that got a reaction from QB as well.
ちょっとだけ気になる。
Imagine if QB's just playing along. Like he knows what's going on, but he's just playing the part.
ずいぶん昔
Because I don't know if they can affect the incubator in such a way.
あの頃はね、この三滝原には私一人しか魔法少女がいなかったの。一人ぼっちの私を支えて励ましてくれたのはベベだけだった。この子がいなかったら私はとっくにダメになってたと思うわ。
Damn.
マミさん、
ともえさんはもっと強くてたくましい人です。ありがとう。確かにそうやって頼りがいのある先輩ぶってた時期もあったわね。でもね、かなめさんやミキさんが一人前になってさくらさんやあけみさんも味方についてくれて、今はこんなに頼れる仲間に囲まれてるんですもの。もう昔みたいに背伸びして頑張る必要もなくなったの。
Yep. It's a perfect world. Mummy always wanted friends to break the loneliness, and she has it.
ナイトメアも強くなって
But she also has it outside of this distorted world as well.
前より安心して戦えるようになりましたよね。こういうのなんだか賑やかで楽しいかも。
もうナイトメア退治は遊びじゃないのよ。
I know, right?
でもそうね、今にして思えばこれって昔の私が夢に見ていた毎日なのかもね。魔法少女としての運命を受け入れた生き方がこんなに幸せで充実したものになるなんて、あの頃は思ってもみなかったわ。ともえさん、お茶のおかわりいただけますか？あら、ちょっと待ってね。今お湯を沸かしてくるから。
Okay, that's how the rings work.
アンブラちゃん、どうかしたの？
Just going to kill an annoyance. Okay, so even QB froze.
茶番はこのくらいで終わらせましょう。
You literally took the appearance of a witch before, bro.
思い出したの。あなたがかつて何者だったのか。みんなの記憶を捏造し、偽りの三滝原の結界に閉じ込める。こんな芸当ができるのはベベ、あなたしかいない。
Here's the thing. I'm the main character, despite the title, and so I don't fall for this shit for more than half an hour. So, how do you exist in a world without witches? Yep. Just takes one stepping stone to crumble. Like a game of Jenga.
私はあの人が苦手だった。強がって、無理しすぎて、そのくせ誰より繊細な心の持ち主で、あの人の前で真実を暴くのはいつだって残酷すぎて辛かった。
Fair enough.
忘れたままでいたかった。今まで自分が一体どれだけの人の心を踏みにじってきたかなんて。白状なさい。こんな回りくどい手口を使って一体何が目的なの。
There we go.
事情がわかるまで話を聞いていたかったけれど、これ以上ベベがいじめられる。
Ah, shit. How are you moving in this space?
まさか最初から。
How?
どういうことか
The world
説明してくれる？
stopped.
その子が何をしたっていうの？あなたはベベに騙されている。ここは本当の三滝原じゃないわ。みんな偽物の記憶を植え付けられてるの。
Yep.
明美さん、一体どうしちゃった？
The truth, girl. I am the real Akame Homura. Ah, crap. So now we're getting a real fight between Homura and Mami. What we're kind of teased about in the main show is now becoming a thing. What the hell? They really gotta explain though just how the hell this Bebe thing came into existence. How does it not meet the category of a witch to be sniped by Madoka? Oh, I'm sure. Let's go, and truly an epic battle of magical gals. Let's do this. So sus, anything that stops being held just distorts. Good lord. Probably the most nutty gun battle in anime, like Jesus. I'd even comment on this, like what the hell? Damn. A little too good. Yes. Years of experience, to be honest. Possibly even decades, depending on how long she was, you know, flipping through time. Leaping through the times. Jesus. Jesus! You might as well just forego the guns, girls. This is so good! Again, Mami just died too early on for us to really get a confrontation between them. Good lord. But any single missed shot, a moment of weakness, and it's over. That's a lot of bullets. Oh yeah. Good lord. And just think of the world around you, Mami. Like, does this look like what the city should look like? All this destruction that you're causing? Ah, crap.
ほら、拉致が開かないわよ。
Where is Bebe right now, to be honest? Like, we haven't seen that little thing since the fight begun. What the hell? Jesus! What the fuck? She really did that just to bait her? Oh god! For as dark as Madoka is, you're just not used to seeing something that dark. Especially that much blood! The show is not gory at all. Oh god, I really need to make my cut in a minute. So we've gone over the hour mark. Damn. Shit.
あなたの魔法は確かにすごいけど、いつだって相手より優位な立場にいると思い込むの。
Oh my god, what the hell? You have time power and you still couldn't keep up?
あなたは何も気づかないの。今の自分に何の違和感も感じないの。
急所を打とうとしなかったあたり、まだ私の身を案じてくれるだけの気持ちはある。
Which is insane.
でも、どうしてベベを襲ったりしたの？
あいつは魔女よ。私たち魔法少女の敵なのよ。思い出して。
魔女なんて知らないわ。
Honestly, even if she did remember, like,
魔獣でしょ。
yeah, there's nothing to remember of witches. Wait.
魔女なんて知らないわ。私たちの敵は魔獣でしょ。
Yep, not the nightmares, the wraiths.
そう。
And that clicked.
私はずっと魔獣たちと戦ってきた。じゃあ、
But then what are these nightmares?
ナイトメアって
Yep.
一体。
Oh shit. Oh shit, you did it. Alright, I'm sorry. I don't want to, but I have to, because I'm at hour 5 now. There's two. I can't go any longer. This is so interesting. What the actual hell? How did a witch get through? Like, how is a witch possible? How did one break through Madoka's wish? What the hell? There is just so much here. So guys, I'm going to do my cut, because I really need to do it now. And when I come back, we'll continue the movie. So, see you in a second. And we are back, guys. It is, unfortunately, it is a new day now. Really didn't want to get stopped that day, but some stuff came up and, you know, oh well, stuff happens sometimes. But, we're back. I rewatched, rewatched it to just make sure I was fully refreshed right as we go right into part 2 of this movie, you know, because it's pretty peak so far. So let's continue on. Sayaka? Oh man, and Ryder's mummy starting to realize this is weird.
どういうこと？
Yep.
一体。
それは私の口から説明するのです。
We've never seen her before. What the fuck?
あなたは
Is this...
ベベ。
今まで黙っていてごめんなさい。
Huh?
でも落ち着いて話を聞いてほしいのです。
What the fuck? Baby? What is going on? What is going on with Sayaka as well? Like, what? Okay.
あなた、一体。
たく、絶好調のマミさん相手に真っ向から喧嘩売るなんて自信過剰なんだかバカなんだか。
Oh, you'd be surprised. You would be
巴マミとの
surprised.
衝突は仕方なかった。私が狙ったのは彼女じゃなくて。
ベベ
Yep.
でしょ。あの子が昔魔女だったってだけで標的にするなんて。
And you know about the
程度が
witches.
あるよ。
あなた、覚えてる？
What is going on?
それが私の役目だからね。だいたいさ、変だと思わなかったの？三滝原市丸ごと再現するほどでかい結界を張った魔女が他の人間を襲って殺した。
More like how would a witch exist is more the question.
あとは何もしない。
Given what we know about the universe
あん
now.
たが覚えてるお菓子の魔女はそんな奇妙なことやるやつじゃなかったでしょ。
That's kind of the more prevalent question right
ちょ
now,
っと考
Sayaka.
えれば分かったはずだよ。この魔女の結界は餌集めのための罠じゃない。
Just to keep
結
everyone
界を
out.
コントロールしている魔女の目的は現状を維持すること。つまり今起こっている出来事が誰にとって好都合なのか、そこから推理していけば、また自分だけの時間に逃げ込むつもり。あんたの悪い癖よね。その魔法に頼りすぎるところ。
この状況を望んだ誰かが私たちの中にいると。
不思議がるほどの話じゃないでしょ。現にマミさんだってさっきそう言ってたじゃない。
Is it?
今が一番幸せだって。どう？マミさんが魔女だと思う？
Is it
魔女は
Homura?
魔法少女が生き
Herself?
る姿。そうね。その可能性はありえない。
Because she's the only one that was realizing this.
それならそれでもう一つ聞き
And
ます
we've seen Sayaka's witch form.
それであんたはどうするつもり？
But that's how Homura would be the main character, isn't it?
始末するの？ただ魔女だからって理由で。
That's
何が言いたいの？
but what? That doesn't make sense. How? What?
ねえ、これってそんなに悪いことなの？
I am so confused. I'm so
誰とも争わ
confused.
ずみんなで力を合わせて生きていく。それを祈った心は裁かれなきゃならないほど。
What is that, implying that Madoka would never kill or slay Homura even if she became a witch?
私たちが行き着く果ての姿だもの。同情だってしたくなるわよ。
私もついさっき一番肝心なことを思い出したわ。
Madoka?
巴マミが思い出した記憶は魔女ではなく魔獣との戦い。
Yeah.
さくら京子が魔女の結界という可能性を推理しなかったのも魔女のことを忘れてたからじゃない。二人は魔女なんて存在は知らないんだわ。
Only you have that knowledge. Or at least only you should have that knowledge.
魔女なんて存在しない。すべての魔法少女の魂は魔女になる前に
Lore of the
変換
cycle.
の代わりに回収される。そうなるようにあの子が世界を作り変えた。
So it doesn't stop witches from existing, it just interrupts the process. That's what Madoka wanted.
そうよ。
Always have.
覚えているのはただ一人、私だけだったはず。ここにはそもそもありえないはずの存在が3ついる。一つはこの結界を作った魔女。
And the other
もう
two,
一つは魔女の姿のままのベベ。
and you.
そして最後は魔女のことを知っているあなた。
Someone who Madoka took with her at the end of the series. The one person who was not able to live outside of everything.
私はあんたが知ってる通りの私だよ。転校生。
That was Sayaka's witch form, wasn't it? I think. I don't know. I know these witches have like names for themselves, but I don't know what. I think like I'm pretty sure that Charlotte, that is her form. I'm pretty sure Charlotte is Bebe's witch form, because that's the one that killed Mummy, which is poetic irony at its best. That fucking the witch that took Mummy in one timeline is her friend. But she's using her witch form.
あんただって私の質問に答えてないよ。この三滝原を壊して本当に構わないのか、じっくりと考えてから決めるんだね。悔いを残さないように。
This witch is... It's gotta be...
ここは偽物の町。
It's gotta...
誰かが夢に見た。
It's gotta be Homura, right? Because this is her ideal world. She gets to keep Madoka for herself, and Madoka gets to keep all of her friends. Right? I can't think of anyone else who would want a world to stay the same. Because we saw Bebe, like, we saw her labyrinth. I guess Mummy's also a possibility because she has friends forever. But they are kind of two sides of the same coin, really, in what Mummy and Homura want. But then how are they here? But then that would be Homura's importance to the film, wouldn't it?
そんな弱さ許されていいわけがない。魔法少女が戦い続けなければならない。
Yep.
それが奇跡を願った対価。そんな私たちだからこそ、あの子は身を挺して救おうとした。
Oh, that is beautiful. It's almost like, yeah, a religious statue right there. She is literally like God, you know. I mean, she is God to Homura, but you know. God, I really do love the dynamic between Homura and Madoka. Speak of the devil. Oh, that's not even the right term. Just speak of God is what I gotta say. That fucking cat. They keep doing that. Stop it. I don't think you realize how compromisable this position is, you know?
小村ちゃん、一人ぼっちになったらダメだよ。私なんかでも話を聞くことぐらいなら。何も役に立てないかもしれないけれど、それでも一人で悩んでるよりはずっといいと思うの。小村ちゃんが苦しんでる時に何もできないなんて、私だって辛いよ。私ね、とても怖い夢を見たの。夢？あなたがもう二度と会えないほど遠いところに行っちゃって、なのに世界中の誰もかもがそのことを忘れちゃって、私だけがまどかのことを覚えてるたった一人の人間として取り残されて。
This has gotta be her then. Yeah, this is definitely Homura. Because this world exists to keep Madoka alive, to keep her remembered. Is that why she can exist? Because she remembers her? Because in the finale of the series, they showed she had some kind of labyrinth witch powers. Because she had the wings. She had the wings that were like made of a labyrinth.
でも大丈夫だよ。
Right?
私だけが誰にも会えなくなるほど遠くに一人で行っちゃうなんて、そんなことありっこないよ。
どうして、なぜそう言い切れるの？
But you did.
だって私だよ。ホムラちゃんでさえ泣いちゃうような辛いこと、私が我慢できるわけないじゃない。
あ
なたにとってもそれは我慢できないほど辛いこと？
そうだよ。ホムラちゃん、さやかちゃん、マミさんに京子ちゃん、
everyone. Oh my god. Oh my god. And they're just.
それにひとみちゃんやクラス
And it's
の
like
みんな。
forcing her back into the role she's meant to
誰
play.
とだってお別れなんてしたくない。
It's forcing her
も
to
し
be
他にどうしようも
her,
ない
o-
時だった
her
と
OG
しても
self.
そんな勇気私にはないよ。
そうだったのね。それがあなたの本当の気持ちなら、私なんてバカな間違いを。
And yet, in the end, that was fate's course. That was her making that decision to
やっ
sacrifice
ぱり
her own well-being for the sake of all others.
あの時私はどんな手を使ってでもあなたを止めなきゃいけなかった。マドカ、あなたにはね、どれほど辛いことだと分かっていてもそれを選択できてしまう勇気があるの。あなたがあなたにしかできないことがあると知った時、
Oh, I just got chills.
自分でも気づいていないほど優しすぎて強すぎる。私ね、知ってるんだよ。
ホムラちゃん、
そっか、やっぱりマドカも何も覚えてないんだね。
Is this even like Madoka?
もしかしたらあなたは幻かもしれないって。
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like
誰かが
this
用意した偽物かもし
this
れない
couldn't be Madoka, but then like
でなければ
what the
こう
fuck?
してまた会えるなんて、どう考えてもおかしいもの。でもわかる、あなたは本当のマドカだわ。
What?
こんな風に一緒に話が
What?
もう一度また優しくしてくれて本当に嬉しい。
So this is really Madoka?
それだけで十分に私は幸せだった。
Is this just a like what? What?
もう行くわ。
What?
私
What?
まだやり残したことが
What is going on?
ホムラちゃん。
There's that
どうしちゃったんだろう。
fucking cat that hasn't said a single word in this movie at all.
もしもし、ホムラか。ねえ、さくらさん。あなた、魔女のことは覚えてる？そいつも何か本当なら覚
Honestly,
えてなきゃおかしいことが
if I had a DDR machine that played the Madoka
知らな
theme,
くて正解よ。
I'd probably be on it all the time too.
じゃあ、要まどかは彼女のこと覚えてる？
当たり前だろ。何よ。おい、まさか。ええ。あなたが彼女のことを知ってる
Shouldn't
はず
know
がな
her.
い。その記憶は偽物よ。悪い冗談としか思えねえ。本当に。
100%. You even see Madoka's magical girl form in the background.
少し考えれば分かったはずなのに。マドカがいる世界を捏造できるとしたら。
It's you! It's you! It's you! You're the fucking witch! But how? Like we said, like that end of the series, she seemed to have some control of the witch form. Is that because she's the only one that remembers it?
誰なのか。
Is that because she knows what magical girl's final forms are technically? You can only fabricate a world with Madoka Magica, or sorry, with Madoka, if you know of Madoka. Because that's something not even QB knew in the
一
end.
つだけ確認したいことがあるの。それで全てに決着をつけるわ。
She left her soul gem.
おい
She left her gem. She's gonna... She's gonna leave her body and just see what happens.
ソウルジェムを手放しても私の体が動くとしたらせいぜ
It's 100
い
meters.
100メートルが限度のはず
So if she's still standing at that point... Still going. You're still conscious. Now that's a fundamental law Madoka didn't change. Jesus Christ. What is this music? Jesus Christ. We're like bringing Armageddon. Literally, we're bringing the apocalypse to the labyrinth. What? What is going on? I am like, bleh. I am so confused. She's gonna walk out of the flames? Oh, no. Unfortunately not.
つまりはもう魔法少女でさえないってわけ
But you're still conscious! You still have your memory, you still have yourself! How? Literally, how?
どうしてよ
Yeah! What happened? Did Madoka's wish somehow give you some secret ability? Because you remember her?
一体いつの間に
When did you fall into despair that you'd become a witch?
になってたの
Seriously? And what does that even mean? Like she's gonna have to die? There's still a movie after this, guys! There's a fucking film after this! At least! What did you do, Incubator? Who hasn't spoken?
知りたくもないはずなのに
Seriously.
それでも追い求めずにはいられないなんてつくづく人間の好奇心というものは
About time you showed up.
理不尽だね
And you can never account for our illogical...
答えにたどり着くだろうとは思っていたよ明美ホムラ
インキュベーターやっぱり何もかもあなたの仕業だったのね
Oh my god.
残る疑問は君の命と魂が
Ooh.
今どこにあるのかだよね
Oh, she looks good in that.
僕が教えてあげる
It'd be helpful if you did. If it's not too much trouble.
これがこの偽物の三滝原市の外側現実世界の君の姿だよ
Where is she?
僕たちの作り出した干渉遮断フィールドが君のソウルジェムを包んでる
In isolation
すでに
field.
限界まで濁りきっていたソウルジェムを外からの影響力が一切及ばない環境に閉じ込めた時何が起こるのか
So you cut it off. You cut her off from the universe, basically. To cut her off from Madoka.
魔法少女を浄化し消滅させる力君たちが連環の断りと呼んでいる現象から隔離された時
Basically isolate it from Madoka.
確かに興味深い結果を観察させてもらったよ
How did you do
大
that?
地の法則に支配された閉鎖空間の形成と外部の犠牲者の誘導捕獲これこそまさしくいつか君が説明してくれた 魔女とやらの能力
Yeah. Is this her fault then for explaining the concept entirely?
遮断フィールドに保護されたソウルジェムがまだ砕けていない以上、君は完全な形で魔女に変化できたわけでもない。
Interesting.
卵を割ることができなかったヒナが殻の中で成長してしまったようなものだね。
And that's why she's still
だから
conscious.
君は自らの内側に結界を作り出すことになった。
Oh my god, this is so fucking weird.
街一つを丸ごと模倣して再現できるとは
I know, right?
驚きだ。
And on a technical level, this makes her the first ever witch in
こ
existence.
こはね、君のソウルジェムの中にある世界なんだよ。
So it goes to show that when you shot it, it all went
その
down.
理屈は変よ。外部と遮断されているなら、この結界に誰かが迷い込むことだってなかったはずでしょ。
そこは僕たちが挑戦してるのさ。フ
Okay.
ィールドの遮断力はあくまで一方通行だ。外からの干渉は弾くけれど、
It's a one-way
内側か
ticket,
らの誘導で犠牲者を連れ込むことはできる。
of course.
魔女としての君が無意識のうちに求めた標的だけが
So it's legitimately everyone. They are here
こ
then.
こまで条件を限定した上で、なおも円環の断りなる存在があくまで明美穂村に接触しようとするならば、その時は君の結界に招き入れられた犠牲者という形でこの世界に具現化するしかない。
So
そう
it
なれば僕たちインキュベーターはこれまで謎だった
So
魔
it's
法
all
少女消滅の原因をようやく特定し
So it's
観
all
測すること
been
ができる。実際
So it's
君
been
が作った
to capture
世界には
Madoka.
現実世界にはすでに存在しないキャラクターが奇妙な形で参加している。
Sayaka
とりわ
and
け興味深いの
Madoka.
は過去の記憶にも未来の可能性にも存在する
Jesus Christ! So yeah, this literally is Madoka.
一切の因果関係がない存在なのに、彼女は何の違和感もなく君の世界に紛れ込んできた。
Because she always wanted her here.
そもそも最初から探す必要さえなかったんだ。手間を省いてくれたのは君自身なんだよ。
Are we gonna see any of the other incubators in this?
君は以前から円環の断りのことを要
Yep,
まどかという名前で
Kanami
呼んでいたからね。
じゃあ、あの子はやっぱり
Apparently
唯一
so.
厄介だったのは要まどかが未知の力を発揮する素振り
Because she's cut off from the universe, she's technically cut off from her
結界の主
powers.
である君の記憶操作はまどかに対しても作用してしまったみたいだね。
Huh.
彼女は君を救済するという目的だけでなく、自分自身の力と正体さえ見失っていた。
Wow.
これでは手の出しようがない。
Dude, again. What is happening in this film? Like, what's the end game here? Because Madoka's wish, like, it still doesn't cure you from being a witch. So now that Homura is becoming a witch,
要まどかは
what's the end game?
明美穂村は魔女であること
Do we just kill her off?
おかげで僕らはこんな無意味な堂々巡りに付き合わされることになった。まあ気長に待つつもりでいたけれど、君が真相にたどり着いたことでようやく均衡も崩れるだろう。
That makes sense.
さあ明美穂
That's
村、
basically like a lucid
まど
dream.
かに助けを求めるといい。それで彼女も思い出す。自分が何者なのか、何のためにここに来たのか。
インキュベーター、あなたたちの狙いは何？
もちろん今まで仮説に過ぎなかった円環の
Literally to
断りを
prove God
世の中に
exists.
届けることだよ。
何のために？好奇心なんて理不尽だって言ってたくせに、まどかの存在をただ確認するためにこんな大げさな段取りまで用意するわけがない。
Yeah.
まどか支配するつもりね。
How? Like, literally, how are you even gonna do that?
最終的な目標については否定しないよ。まあ道のりは困難だろう。この現象は僕たちにとって全くの謎だった。
She's existed in it as long as the universe has,
存在する
kinda.
のは手の出しようがないからね。
That's fair.
それで諦めるあなたたちじゃないわ。
そうだね。観測さえできれば干渉できる。干渉できるなら制御もできる。
Jesus
いずれ僕たち
Christ.
の研究は円環の断りを完全に克服するだろう。
Holy
そうなれ
crap.
ば 魔法少女は魔女となり、さらなるエネルギーの回収が期待できるよう
And
に
that's why to reset the universe back to its original one
その感情から変換されるエネルギーの総量は
would be
予想以上のもの
insane.
だったよ。やっぱり魔法少女は無限の可能性を秘めている。君たちは魔女へと変化することでその存在を全うするべきだ。なぜ怒るんだい？君にはもう関わりのない話だ。
Because you're hurting her, the person she loves the
君
most.
は過酷だった運命の果てに待ち望んでいた存在と再会の約束を果たす。
Jesus
これ
Christ.
は幸福なことなんだろう？いいえ、そんな幸福は
What is...
求めてない。
That's not what she wanted. At the end, she just wanted Madoka. All she wanted was Madoka Magica. To be with Madoka, you know? To give her the true meaning of Magica.
私はね、マドカを救う。ただそれだけの祈りで魔法少女になったのよ。だから今度も同じことを。マドカの秘密が暴かれるくらいなら、私はこのまま魔女になってやる。もう二度とインキュベーターにあの子は触らせない。
君はそんな理由で救済を拒むのかい？
Yes. Easily.
このまま永遠の時を呪いと共に過ごすつもりなのか？
大丈夫。きっとこの結界が私の死に場所になるでしょう。ここには巴真美もさくら京子もいる。彼女たちを信じるわ。
They...
バカな。
I'm assuming they can escape, right?
内側で死ぬことが何を意味するのか分かっているのかい？殻を破ることすら拒んで卵の中で魔女として完成してしまったら、君は年間の断りに感知されることすらなく破滅する。
In other words, you would cease to exist entirely.
絶望から救えない。君は再び要まどかと巡り合うチャンスを永久に失うんだよ。
Yep.
黙りなさい。
Yes, that is so cool! Oh, and you know she would be the absolute most terrifying witch in existence.
君にとっても最悪の結末。
Even beyond like those witches Madoka became in other timelines.
どうして人間の思考はこうも理不尽なんだい？
And you will spend an eternity dying here, Cube. Well, this is creepy. This is disturbing on a number of levels.
これが魔女。私の感情が
She looks like a proper
追いかけ
witch
てくる。
to live in eternal despair. Oh my god, oh my god! This is so cool! And obviously, like, the stuff from the series that we didn't get to see, they teased that we get to see now! Like, the kind of witch Homura would become!
思い出せない。
So this was what it means to be inside of a witch.
これが私の
This is your eternal damnation, despair. This is what you would have become had Madoka not made that wish all those years ago. Or however long it's been.
こんなことまで迎えに来てくれて
Oh
あ
god.
りがとう。最後にお別れを言えなくてごめんね。
And now what? Like, genuinely, now what? All the girls are still here, including Madoka and Sayaka. Oh god. That is so fucking bad. Oh my god, that's so disturbing. And they're like dropping teeth. Beheading of a witch. Oh my god. That is horrible. That is a witch.
ああ見えて一番辛いのはあいつ自身なんだ。笑えねえな。待ってくれ。あれは明美ホムラなんだ。君たちは仲間と戦う気かい？キューブ。へえ。あんた普通に喋れたんだ。
I know, right? Very weird.
残念だわキューベ。これでもうベベの話を信じるしかない。
What was up with Baby earlier as well?
君ならホムラを救えるはずだ。君が持っている本当の力に気づきさえすれば。そいつはほっときなマドか。大丈夫。さっき私が教えた通りにやればいい。
So Sayaka's like the ringleader here. I still don't get what the hell QB is meant to... Oh, sorry, Bebe's meant to be and why she's here. You know? Like, what? I guess, yeah, she never became a witch, so, like... Madoka, like, called her as well? If she can call Sayaka? Hello? Oh my god, it's her witch. So, she can control her witch form. Who can... So you can control your witch form and your magical girl form simultaneously. That is so broken, what the hell? Fair enough. Ah. Oh my god, that is so based! Oh my god, so even Madoka had contingency plans in there. And she brought Bebe and Sayaka into this whole thing. That's cool. That is so sick. So yeah, that is crazy. Sayaka and Bebe became part of the cycle with Madoka. That's what she did to Sayaka at the end of the series. When she took her. I guess technically then, Madoka never really is alone if she has these two as her assistants. Gave them purpose beyond their own despair. As if we'd let the main character die. Not with what? You know, about, 28 minutes left. Yeah, honestly, you shouldn't be talking about that, Sayaka. Oh, yeah. Yep. That is pain. It's the dream. In other words, once this is done, So are we.
夢っていうほど悲しいものじゃないよ。
We won't be seeing each other again for a long, long time.
それでも結局こんな役目を引き受けて戻ってきちゃったなんて。
Was to see you again?
やっぱり私心残りだったんだろうね。あんたを置き去りにしちゃったことが。
That is so
もう一度チ
cool.
ーズが食べたかっただけなのです。ねえ、おいほら、空気読めって。
Oh my god. That was so great. They really were the best of friends in the minuscule amount of time they spent together. Again, just the development these two went through together was just insane. I don't think I've ever seen like a relationship blossom that quickly before and be this good. It was like, what, 4 episodes? If that. That is a beautiful, sweet treat to beat. And as always, need I even say how beautiful the animation in this is? I mean, it's shaft with a movie budget. It's shaft with a movie budget, man. What do you expect? Like, genuinely. Goodbye, Magical Girl finale. We are in business. Baby's out. Fucking QB. What ultimate super attacker we got here? So given that she's a witch now, does that mean she'll be the same as like Sayaka and Bebe? She'll join Madoka as an assistant? Or something? Because I'm still not 100% sure what exactly Sayaka and Bebe are. But they became somehow Law of the Cycle. Is that what all magical girls become when they've gone, or is that just something Madoka pulled because she has connections? Well, no, because Bebe. Shoulder any sin.
さあ、ホムラちゃん、一緒に。
And something beautiful blossoms out of the despair in the end. You will. You'll get to see Madoka again. I'd say one more time, but there's a movie coming after this, so you know. Definitely not. God, I don't know. I do not know. And you never will. You never will understand human emotion. You're too logical, you know, to ever understand how illogical emotions and humanity are. It's just not a thing. Okay. How's that still 20 minutes? The fuck? Oh wow, even family. How strange, we never, ever, ever know what happened to Homura's parents.
今ようやく彼女を連れて行くところよ。あれが要窓か。ええ。
Pretty much, this is God.
いつか私たちを導く円環の断り。
And then you'll all be together again. Oh, chills. Chills, my guys. Chills! This design.
そうだった。私はホムラちゃんのために。
Came here for my closest connect. Holy crap, that is so
あん
beautiful!
な大事なことを忘れてたなんて。
Ultimate God Super Saiyan Enormous Madoka Magica. The ultimate goddess Madoka. Whatever you want to call her. This is the Madoka that you created. The Madoka that can help all.
待たせちゃってごめんね。今日までずっと頑張ってきたんだよね。
I don't know how long.
ここ
Again, that ending scene of the show is confusing.
これからは
But
ずっ
still,
と一緒だよ。
we'll always be together.
そうね。この時を待ってた。あ、ホムラちゃん。やっと
Homura-chan?
捕まえた。
It went black. It went black. What the fuck?
何よこれ。明美さん。
It went black.
ソウルジェムが呪いよりもおぞましい色に。何なのあれ。
What?
欲望、執念。いや違う。
QB, what did you do?
あんた一体。
What have you
理
done?
解できないのも当然よ。ねえ、誰にわかるはずもない。この思いは私だけのもの。
A singular emotion is yours. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
私が避けちゃう。言ったはずよ、マドカ。
You ripped her apart.
二度とあなたを離さない。
Oh my god. The villain is Homura. The next movie's villain is Homura! Oh, this is hot. This is very, very hot. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is... Dude, she's making a labyrinth across the universe! Literally, existence itself is a labyrinth now! She stole Madoka's power to make a labyrinth of universal proportions. Oh my god. Oh my god, her face was cut off. What the fuck? Does she even need that anymore? Supposedly. My god, it's like a king chess piece. That's a new soul gem. I guess I gotta say it then. That is checkmate for now. What the fuck? Apparently so.
あなたは覚えていなかったわね。私にとっては二度目の光景だけれど。何が起きているんだ。
Yeah.
明美ホムラ、君は何に干渉しているんだ。
What has she done? What the fuck has she done?
信じられない。呪いに染まったソウルジェムが消え去るはずの君の魂がなぜ。思い出したのよ。今日まで何度も繰り返して傷つき苦しんできたすべて。
No one could ever fathom that much despair.
今はもう痛みさえ愛おしい。
Oh, and she's a masochist.
私のソウルジェムを濁らせたのはもはや呪いでさえなかった。それじゃあ一体。あなたには理解できるはずもないわね。
Love.
インキュベーター。
Her love for Madoka.
これこそが人間の感情の極み。
Love.
希望よりも熱く絶望よりも深いもの。
Love.
愛よ。
it can save you, or it could absolutely destroy you in ways no one can understand without first-hand experience. I'm like the literal fucking... I am evil incarnate! A demon. An absolute demon. If you want to go that far out, we can just call you the devil. If you want a title that badass, you deserve it. That is such a sick design! You're her pet now, her pawn, her plaything. The thing that handles all the curses and despair in the universe. Oh. How did you people wait 12 years for this sequel? I just want to know. I want to know. How did you do it? I wonder. No, wait. When did that movie come out? I don't know. Madoka was like 2011, I think. So, like, maybe a year at most. Or, like, more after that. How'd you wait that long? Especially with the cuck that you just got a trailer and it got fucking delayed again. Is that even coming out this year? Oh man, I you know, I will have to make a cut for my outro if I'm gonna get through all of this left, because yeah, got about, you know, like 15 minutes left. I will have to do a cut to talk, but it's worth it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So this universe is a labyrinth again. Generous with the foods. You wasted an apple. You wasted food. That's like your one principle to never do. And we have Sayaka too. So she couldn't. So she kept her memories. You've split fucking God apart. Interesting. Interesting. An existence known as evil. Jesus Christ, she's like fully embraced her evil side. Dude, I don't even think that would dent her. Really? Dude, I love her expression. Yep, yep, yep. Clapping that out of existence. Such powers are beyond, like, are just below her notice. Oh my god. What? What? How does this... How do you stop this? Genuinely. How do you win this? Oh, oh my god, that smile. I don't think that's possible at all, but you never know. And then there's Bebe, just completely irrelevant now. So without her memory, her closure would go, wouldn't it? And it'd be... Yeah, and then she'd have to see this again. She'd live in her own despair, pretty much.
いやなんだかね、京介や瞳にまたおはようって言えるなんて、それだけでどんなに幸せか、私想像もしてなかったんだってね。
Wow.
相変わらずさやかさんは不思議なことをしてます。
Stuff like that, you traitor.
そうだよ。いつだって私は不思議ちゃんさ。
Indeed.
女子の皆さんはくれぐれも半熟じゃなきゃ食べられないとか抜かす男とは交際しないように。
Oh my
そ
god.
して男子の皆さんは絶対に卵の焼き加減にケチをつけるような大人にならないこと。はい、あとそれから
No force in the entire multiverse could fix this teacher's problems, though. That's a power beyond the heavens and all kinds of cosmic powers.
はじめまして。
Oh my god, and they're literally trading places.
母の海外出張で家族みんなで3年間
They literally switched places.
先週ようやく三滝原に帰ってきたので
I see Kyoko there still, along with Sayaka.
お世話になります。よろしくお願いします。
久しぶりの日本の学校で戸惑うこともいろいろあるかもしれません。皆さん仲良くしてあげてくださいね。
There she is. That is so
ねえ
scary.
アメリカの学校ってどうだった？英語ペラペ
Oh
ラ
my god, we're literally following the same thing.
羨ましいな。ちっちゃくて可愛いよね。なんだか小学生みたい。
Wow.
そのなんていうか。
And her ribbons aren't the same color either.
一度に質問されすぎて
She still has the ribbon. Oh my god.
少しは遠慮しないと。
Maybe I just didn't notice that before, but yeah.
私は明美褒め
She's still using Madoka's ribbon.
まどかって呼んでもいいかしら。早速だけど校内を案内してあげれば。ついてきて。
Dude, she is just terrifying. Like, she's not even, like, apathetic. She is genuinely... She looks evil when they actually pan on her face.
ホムラでいいわ。
Please call me Homura, actually.
ホムラちゃん、その、どうして私を。久しぶりの故郷はどう？なんだか懐かしいような。でも何かが違うなっていうか。
Yeah.
ちょっと変な気分。無理もないわ。3年ぶりだものね。
Does she have any trace of her memory? Alright guys, and we are back. So I won't need to do my cut, like, near the end of this now when the file stops or anything, which is cool. But, yeah, I just got some good news, so that was a cut worth it to me, for getting interrupted. And, yeah, let's just, let's finish off this movie. We should be, like, getting to the credits any minute now. Oh. So she's still got the remnants of herself in there. Are we already done with this? Are we already done with it? Is Madoka gonna gain her power back or something? What the hell was that?
大丈夫。あなたは間違いなく本当のあなたのママよ。
So that's gonna be our sus. Next time, that's gonna be our problem.
欲望よりも秩序を大切にしてる。
She's gonna start remembering more and more. The more Homura pushes her into this role, the more her true self is gonna pop out.
私は尊いと思うよ。やっぱ
Jesus.
り自分勝手にルールを破るのって悪いことじゃないかな。そうならいずれあなたは私の敵になるかもね。で
Damn.
も構わない。それでも私はあなたが幸せになれる世界を望むから。
And she did the exact same thing Madoka was doing earlier, trying to fix her hair to how should be.
あなたの方が似合うわね。
That is so sad how she relinquished that ribbon given what its meaning was to her. I guess, yeah, they still get to be friends. And I mean, you know, movie 2, if you want to confirm anything. Oh my god, she got a cheese addiction? If you want to confirm any more ships in, you know, in movie 2, without directly doing Homura or Madoka, you could go Sayaka or Kyoko, I'd be down. But there's definitely some implications there. What a fucking sequel. I'm saying a sequel, because it is like a sequel to the show. But like... what a continuation, guys. Holy crap. You know, I feel like typically a lot of the times when these movies come out, you always gotta think like, what is the purpose? When it's a movie, you know, continuing a story that has already been told and is already completed and already feels completed. The question you've always got to ask yourself going in is this a cash grab? Or could this feasibly be a continuation of the story? And I feel like Madoka Rebellion absolutely feels like a proper continuation of the story. Given what we know, given what we've learned about Kyuubi and the incubators, you know, in the show, I could absolutely see them going down this kind of route of like literally trying to understand and confirm the existence of God itself. You know, the law of the cycle as it's officially referred to as, Madoka. And trying to feasibly use it in a way that fits their own desires and their own needs, right? Like, it also speaks to the kind of powers that the incubators have. They can mess with pretty much anything in reality, as long as they can feasibly understand what they're working with, right? Like, humanity, it's simple. They know what humanity is. They've learned what humanity is, you know, all this stuff. But there is no physical way to prove the existence of Madoka. And because of that, they had to resort to, like, insane methods like isolation fields, all these different kind of experiments to not only confirm what the actual cycle of a magical girl would be without the influence of the law of the cycle, but also just what that would entail if they could actually capture it, right? And in the end, not only did they prove the existence of Madoka, but it fucking backfired. That was absolutely great. Oh my god. Kyuubi? Poor little Kyuubi, now confined to just a pet, a plaything, a slave, with a legitimate role in the universe now of Homura's new reality, which is literally to fucking carry and deal with all the curses which represent the despair, the sadness of all those girls that fall confined to their fate. It's now Kyuubi's role to manage all of that, which means, most likely, in the most literal sense, in the most painful way Homura can do it, cramming all of that despair into Kyuubi so that it has somewhere to exist. Because you can't just zap it out, it needs to be fulfilled, it needs to be put somewhere, and why not in the one fucker that's been giving her trouble for years. I don't even want to know, like, just how... well, I think I do know how long it's been. Like, I think it's been like a decade or 12 years or something like that. You know? Such an incredibly long amount of time. Oh my god. And it was just... This is great. But yeah, like I said, I always went into this movie wondering, right, like, how we're gonna continue it, how we're gonna move on from this, how we're gonna actually, like, go from here, because it's weird, because I go into this movie knowing that a sequel movie is planned out, so I just had no idea what would happen, because I knew it wasn't a concluded story from the beginning, right? Also, this is, I just gotta say, this is beautiful. You got Homura's silhouette and Madoka's silhouette dancing out. That's pretty based. But, like, yeah, how these situations would actually work out, right? And it's like, I guess it's an ending. I guess, like, fucking Homura literally becoming the devil. Like, you know, if I'm gonna refer to Madoka as God, I gotta refer to Homura as the devil now, right? Like a demon, ultimate evil, the incarnate of evil, desire, selfishness itself, all coming back down to you. It's like, this is good. Is this it? We done? Okay, there's still a minute left to go. Okay, after credit scene. Means gotta turn it up again. Oh my. Half moon, that's quite a choice. And you're still back? Oh my god, what the fuck? That really is a great soul gem, I love that. I imagine a lot of people are satisfied with that ending right there. So what she just did was allow Kyubi to finally comprehend the despair, the anguish, the sorrow, all the things that power up a curse in people, and take every single one of them that's ever been, that's ever will be, and cram it all in that little bastard. That is beautiful. So, next movie, when we continue on with Madoka, we obviously won't be having Kyubi as the main antagonist. Oh my god. In a sense there, she literally just danced over his grave. What the over his corpse. What the actual hell. So that was Madoka Magica Rebellion, and I feel like it definitely lives up to the quality that is to be expected from Madoka Magica as a series. Like I said, in terms of a plot, it really does feel like it is a really realistic continuation of the story that is Madoka Magica, and I feel like both in terms of character dynamics, but which means, you know, I could absolutely see this happening from a perspective of Kyubi, you know, doing this by the incubators to try and literally find other methods, more convenient methods even, to make their job easier, to gather enough energy, what was it, karmic energy, I think, of the universe, and to make it, you know, to understand and just produce that more, which is the form of these witches, you know, to do that for Homura to just finally snap and feel like, you know, just have her own way for once, you know? Like, all of this, I feel like, really is built off of the series so beautifully, and it is a realistic, I think, approach to the future of the show, right? It really makes me wonder just how far the catalyst of this movie even came from in canon, like, right? Like, because Homura always chose, as we saw in episode 12, she chose to be transparent with Kyubi. She chose to tell him about the law of the cycle, about the witches, about who they were, about what they did, you know. and you know how it compares to this world. And even in episode 12, QB said that like the method that she was describing would be a lot more convenient to them as opposed to the wraith thing that they've got going on right now, right? So from that, you know, you could say it like from her own actions and trust in them, that the incubators decided to try and really prove this cycle, you know, to prove that Kanami Madoka does exist, and that if this is a feasible concept, the law of the cycle does have a physical form that we can control, then it's worth attempting that. It's worth trying all of this bullshit to see the end result of, you know, a magical girl without the law of the cycle, understanding the witch form, and then, you know, trying to grasp what the law of the cycle is, and then control it for their own means. And as we saw, you know, obviously, as per the wish that Madoka made, she would try to stop any kind of witch from ever being produced, no matter what method it had to be, and whether it had to be, you know, at the detriment of her own self, if she had to make things a little more complicated for herself by going into this isolation field to get Homura out, and then join her, you know. It's a very realistic approach of what the incubators are, what they stand for, and I really, really do enjoy it, like I said. And Homura, oh my god, I completely understand Homura in this. I completely understand the struggle she's gone through to where she can make this decision, because, as we know, she has spent, what, 12 years, maybe more than that at this point? She spent countless time trying and fighting for a future that gets Madoka Magica out of there, to find a future where she can live with Madoka and they can all live together and just continue on with life, a life where she wants Madoka to be in it. You know, she wants Madoka to be there with her, and the end of the series is not her conclusion. It's not what she wanted. You know, Homura is a selfish character. It's part of, you know, it's part of her own character development, you know. She was literally at one point willing to destroy the world if Madoka would sign on to the idea of it. She wanted, you know, as long as Madoka was there for her in that regard, she thought, fuck the world, we'll just become witches together and fight. So she's always been driven by the impulse. She's always been driven by the inept desire to be with, you know, Madoka, which I guess makes her, at least from what I've seen, the most powerful yandere ever to exist, because that is like, oh, if that's not a yandere, I don't know what is. But, you know, I feel like it's realistic to go through all of that, and then in the end game, technically, she has saved Madoka, but what does she gain out of that? She has to live with the constant reminder that she knows who Madoka is, she knows who she loves, and not only does she not get to, you know, be with her, she doesn't even get to grieve with anyone. She doesn't get to vent her frustrations out in a healthy manner, because no one at all, even the incubators, know who Homura is, who know who Madoka is anymore. She became like the piece of life that saves and you know, frees magical girls from the despair of witches. But what does that mean for her own despair? What does that mean for the life that she lives, the kind of despair that she would fall into when all is said and done? You know, she's been fighting so long for a world with Madoka that in her own result isn't a world with Madoka, that I can absolutely see the scenario where she just is like, fuck it. She is like, I don't care anymore. I don't care about this world. I don't care about anything. You know, my own desire is to have Madoka in it, and I will do that by literally any means necessary. Fuck the world. Fuck it all. I just want Madoka now. And I feel like, as someone who has gone through that much hardship, it's absolutely fair to see how she could go through that. Obviously, like, it's not necessarily justifiable, but it's understandable why she would reach that breaking point. But what really did segment that part was the scene where, you know, they spoke in the field, in the garden with flowers, you know, on the hilltop, where Madoka pretty much said to her, you know, outside of her, like, decision to be, you know, the cycle of life, or law of the cycle, sorry, where she said, like, she couldn't bear making a decision that would make Homura so upset. She couldn't live with herself making a decision that would make Homura that upset. And that's the moment where it clicked. That's the moment where it clicked for Homura, that this was better, right? Because at the end of the day, Homura's inept desire is for Madoka's happiness. Even if it overrides her own happiness, her desire is always to save Madoka, to be, to have Madoka there. She would love a life where Madoka is, happy with her, but even that does not take precedent over a universe where Madoka can be happy. And so she saw that. She took what Madoka said, and even though Madoka is technically happy with the wish that she made, she didn't see it like that anymore. She saw and really understood the kind of burden that it's been for Madoka to do this, and to see the kind of anguish that Homura's been all that time, that she literally tore it apart. Literally split Madoka from herself and just split her into her physical form, which is the girl she's always been, and the form that she has embraced being, which is her true self now, which is the magical law of the cycle. So technically, in some way, the law of the cycle still does exist, because Homura couldn't stop that, but she took a piece of its power. According to her, she took a piece of its power for herself to fulfill her own desires, to fulfill her own part of her own wish, and live in a world with Madoka. And, you can really see that, because what Madoka always wants is the happiness of everyone, and Homura is abiding a universe by that rule. Obviously, it's a universe where she is in command, she is in control, she will live by what she thinks is right first and foremost. But she did make a universe where everyone can be happy simultaneously, because that is what Madoka wants. She couldn't really care less about, Mami, Kyoko, Sayaka, Bebe, yeah, they might be friends now, but they're not any kind of priority compared to Madoka. But even with that, she still created a universe in which they could be happy too, where obviously Sayaka and Kyoko could live as friends, or anything more than that if you wanna, make your own headcanon or whatnot. She did say her one regret was leaving Kyoko behind. Now it's a universe where they are, they can be friends and whatnot. Mami still has her friends, and even Bebe exists, and this is the kind of scenario that Madoka wanted the most, a place where all of her friends are the happiest. And obviously, Homura's taking her own inspiration from that by, of course, adding Madoka in there. So while I don't necessarily think this is Homura's absolute ideal scenario, because hers would just be her and Madoka full stop, it is a compromise that she's willing to take, which is giving everyone their happy ending, because it includes her in that cycle. Which, like I said, is really interesting. But what's even more what the fuck, how do we end this off, is that they lost their memories. Sayaka doesn't have a memory of, of Homura, of what she did. She has the feeling, the instinct that she doesn't belong to this world, but she doesn't know what that entails, right? And Madoka is kind of the same thing here. She doesn't feel right. She doesn't feel complete, I think it's the right descriptor. She doesn't feel complete anymore. She feels like there is a part of her missing, which is the law of the cycle, and that's going to be the main pressure point of the next movie. The main conflict is going to be Madoka's memory. Despite what Homura did, her memory is going to start coming back to her. And when that happens, even Homura is willing to accept the fact that, she is going to be her enemy. She literally asked Madoka at the end there, and she said it's not good to break the rules, to break the law for your own desire, even if you can do it. And by that principle, Homura knows she's living against Madoka's principles, and that is going to make that's going to make them one day enemies. But she's still fully willing to live out this fantasy of hers for as long as she can before that point. And, I'm really curious, right? Because given the kind of desperation, Homura has, I'd be really curious to see the lengths they're willing to go with her, and just the lengths she's willing to go to keep Madoka on her, in her life. You could take that very, very far. If you want to make things a lot darker than what, Madoka could do, you could imply some very messed up things of what she would be willing to do to keep her, in her life. Again, stuff I don't know if they'd really do in the next movie or whatnot, but, if they really want to show, her desperation in full force when even this plan doesn't work, as her last resort methods, you could really do some interesting stuff there with that implication in mind. But obviously, like, the next movie is going to be something. I don't know. I really don't know what we're going to do with the next movie or not, because, like, again, the main character of the series has always been Homura, but she's the villain. She's the villain now. She's the antagonist. So what do you do? Right? Because she is a witch. She has become a witch and the most powerful one. So, like, you have to end her, right? Like, this can't go for a movie after the next one. It can't go for an additional movie, can it? Right? Like, you know, this movie, like, set up the principle of the beginning. Like, you did not know what the fuck was going on, and that was for, like, half the film. So, like, could they really stretch this beyond just the next movie? I don't know. And to given the fact that, like, yeah, like, again, Homura controls everything. This is literally a universal spread labyrinth. This is entirely her labyrinth. And, like, how can you go past that? Like, literally, how do you beat that? It can only be Madoka. But how is Madoka going to do that when Homura is on her, is, like, keeping an eye on her 24/7? And, like, what's that going to mean? Are we going to have to, like, have to wipe Homura out of existence because she is, you know, too far gone? I don't know. But I do like how, again, like, their explanation for this was kind of like, she was able to do this because all of her despair, her curse, you know, her grief, it was all made out of love, which is the most powerful emotion, and it is specifically, what she even said, is a unique emotion to her, because she is the only one who knows of Madoka, and that is a despair that no one else in the universe can comprehend, and from that, it gave her, like, it kind of gave her the ability to even do this, right? It's an ability that not any of the other incubators can comprehend because it's such a unique circumstance to her. But what is that gonna mean, right? Like, what is that gonna actually do in the next, like, in the next universe, in the next movie? You know, in terms of defeating her, I don't know. But I do love, you know, I do love all of this, right? Like, Madoka and its concept of love generally is so cool and so interesting, and it is really fun to see just how far you know, the implications of love are in this show, right? How it kind of led to the almost downfall of Sayaka, how it, you know, it's been driving Homura for all these years, and it led to Madoka's direct wish, right? Like, love is always, like, the theme of this series, and it really shows just how far people can go for it, but it also shows just how far people can despair from it. You know, it can literally be a coin flip. Love can be a coin flip, and it can either send you, you know, to the heights like it did with Madoka, or it can lead you down despair, and you get that point where both Madoka and Homura are the representations of love they have for each other in different aspects, you know. Like, you can make your own conclusion on what kind of love these two have, but absolutely, I don't doubt at all, my own, like, personal opinion, you know, this obviously goes beyond just friendship love for a Homura. You know, I definitely think she is in love with Madoka, and, you know, whether Madoka is or not, that's up to you. She did call her her deepest, closest friend, got friend-zoned by God herself in the finale of the series itself. But I definitely feel like that is the case for Homura herself, you know. And again, we'll see, because, you know, the complexities of emotion, the complexities of love is a driving narrative in Madoka Magica, and I'm really curious just how they'll push through with that in the next movie. Like, this is big. This is insane. You know, literally now she is, like, fucking God from it, and I don't know what to really expect of that now, you know. Oh man. But this is great. You know, Homura is my favourite character in the show. I don't know if I ever answered that again, because I said in episode 9, I think, that Sayaka pushed my favourite character from her journey. But then you had episode 10, which was, like, Homura-centric, and it was fucking insane. And if I didn't have it at that point, like, Homura is my favourite character, but I don't think there is literally anyone from this show I can really dislike. Aside from Hitami, fuck that bitch. But, you know, like, the main magical girl squad, they're all just peak. They're literally all peak, you know, and, like, it's just great, you know. It's absolutely great. And now, like, we're at a time, like, you know, I am at a time, you know, which I do feel quite privileged in, to have watched this show so late, to where I have, like, the least amount of time to wait for the movie. I know it was just delayed. I know it was just delayed even more because that movie is never coming out. But, you know, a lot of different people are waiting a lot longer for this movie. And it's like never gonna come out, you know. And now, ironically, which I don't think was by design, but, you know, fans of the show as it was coming out are in a unique spot now to where they are right with Homura in a weird roundabout way. People who have been watching the show from the beginning and watched the Rebellion movie from the beginning, they are in the same boat as Homura now because they have been waiting for this sequel movie about the same amount of time as Homura spent looping all that time in the show to reach the conclusion. So they have been waiting for Madoka Magica to return as long as Homura has been waiting for fucking Madoka to come back to her. So you guys are in, you know, if anyone's watching from that point, you are in a unique position because you understand Homura and sympathize with her in a level that even, like, I can't do, and most people who watch this show after the fact can't do, because you guys have that same time length down. That is very fucking funny, you know? I don't collect figures or anything. At least I don't have the money to. I probably would if I did, but, you know, if I had money to, like, collect figures and whatnot, I could see myself getting one of Madoka. Do they have one of her in the ultimate form? I mean, they probably do, you know? But yeah, you know, and of course, like, demon, devil, whatever you want to refer to a Homura, like, that'd be pretty peak as well. But guys, this movie was fantastic, you know, it really played up. I do appreciate how, again, I like when movies and shows give, like, they kind of do represent both sides of the situation, where there are cases where in certain shows you can really imagine the butterfly effect and how different things would be if things go differently. And in this movie, we got to accurately see the kind of life that would live if Madoka's life wasn't confined, you know, to die at that one moment in time all the time. You got to see how easy it would be, how peaceful, you know, the girls would have it. They would all be a squad together, fighting magical girls. It was the ideal life for you know, for Madoka, for Homura, for everyone to live together, which was represented in the first half of the movie. And then, you know, we get back to the realism of the series, which is the despair of the magical girls, where, you know, we go back into, like, what is actually Madoka Magica, you know. So they show both sides very well, very passionately there. And I always like it when shows offer that unique perspective of, you know, if things go differently in one way, how would it be? And then they do take the time to actually show that. Like, I'm seeing that a bit right now in other shows and whatnot I'm watching. And it is absolutely, it's great to see those moments, you know, because you know how if things went differently, how good things can go. But you also know that that's not the direction we're going canonically, and so we can't have it like that, you know. But yeah, guys, I love Madoka Magica. Like I said, it is my favorite, like, one core story. I cannot believe how well it can tell stories like that. Just the stuff with, I think, Sayaka and Kyoko is one of the best representations of that. How much we developed their, like, dynamic and relationship in 4 episodes. Literally. Or even 3, because they were enemies. Like, you know, they just met and were enemies at the end of episode 5. How much they did with that in such little time speaks masterfully to the writing of this show and how far you can take things, given if you use your time wisely. Just how little time can be used to make such a masterful, you know, scenario. It's beautiful, you know. And even if now we got to see that in this movie full force, we got to see how much it meant to Sayaka. And, you know, at least for, like, maybe the first half of the next movie, we're going to see that again in full force. You know, this series is all about the beautiful relationships you can have with people, and, you know, we got that, you know, between Sayaka, Kyoko, ironically Mami and Bebe now, and the most tragic, Homura and Madoka, you know. But I love Madoka Magica. You know, I can see some people probably not liking the angle they took with Homura in this. I can see some people not liking that she really gave in to her own desire and kind of betrayed Madoka's final wish in a way to make her own ideal scenario. I can see people not liking this for those reasons, but I absolutely loved it, and I am very hyped. I'm tempted to watch the trailer for the next movie, but I don't do trailers because I want to be as blind as possible when going into things, so that's an unfortunate kind of thing for me. But yeah. Guys, that has been Madoka Magica Rebellion. Homura, you are the GOAT, the G-based. You know, your love of, you know, your love of, like, you know, the angel that is Madoka is beautiful, you know? The devil loves an angel and vice versa, and we'll see what comes of that. We'll see in the end where your unwavering dedication and devotion and love to Madoka gets you what your end game is in hopefully the next movie. Because if they make another movie past that point, I don't even imagine how much my head will explode. But guys, that does it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.